They don't appear on any official military roster. They answer to no parliament, no court, no public. And right now, at this very moment, they're operating in at least a dozen countries. This is the organization that Iran's own supreme leader calls his most trusted weapon. Born from revolution. It's 1979. The Shah has fled. The streets of Tehran are flooded with millions of Iranians who just dismantled one of the most powerful monarchies in the Middle East. But the revolutionaries knew something. Toppling a government is one thing. Keeping power is another. Ayatollah Khomeini needed a military force that was completely loyal, not to Iran as a nation, but to the revolution itself. So on May 5th, 1979, he signed the decree creating the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Sepah Pastaran. Their founding mission was explicit: protect the Islamic Republic against internal enemies, foreign threats, and anyone who might try to undo what the revolution had built. From day one, they were separate from the regular Iranian army. Different uniforms, different command structure, different loyalty. They reported directly to Khomeini. They still report directly to his successor. This isn't a branch of the military. It's a parallel state with guns. The structure of power.
Most militaries have a chain of command. The IRGC has a chain of dominance. At the top sits the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. Below him, the IRGC commander-in-chief. Then it branches: the ground forces, navy, aerospace force, and most critically, the Quds force, their elite extraterritorial operations unit. But the structure goes far deeper than military ranks. The IRGC controls an enormous economic empire inside Iran. They run construction firms, telecommunications companies, import-export businesses, and engineering conglomerates. Analysts estimate they control anywhere from 1/3 to half of Iran's entire economy, making them not just a military force, but a financial superpower operating within the state. They also have their own intelligence apparatus, their own prison system, their own media outlets. If you want to understand why the IRGC is nearly impossible to dismantle from within Iran, this is why. They don't just protect the system. In many ways, they are the system.
Think of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a shield at home. The Quds force is the arm that reaches beyond the border. Its name refers to Jerusalem, but its mission is wider: foreign operations, influence, and support for armed partners across the Middle East. That network includes Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, and Shia militias in Iraq and Syria. To Tehran, these groups create strategic depth. To the United States and its allies, they form a proxy network, able to pressure rivals while giving Iran distance from direct confrontation. For nearly 2 decades, General Qasem Soleimani was the face of that strategy. He built relationships, coordinated battlefields, and turned separate movements into what Iran calls the axis of resistance. In January 2020, a U.S. drone strike near Baghdad airport killed Soleimani. The shock was immediate, but the system he helped build did not disappear. Baptized in war, Iraq, 1980 to 1988. The IRGC was barely a year old when Saddam Hussein invaded Iran in September 1980. For 8 years, one of the bloodiest wars of the 20th century would forge the Revolutionary Guard into something far more formidable than its founders had imagined. In those trenches, the IRGC often clashed with Iran's regular army, both in ideology and in battlefield command. But as the war dragged on, the Guard's political loyalty to Khomeini gave them the upper hand internally. They received better weapons, more resources, and more recruits. By the time a ceasefire was reached in 1988, the IRGC had emerged as the dominant military institution in Iran, overshadowing the conventional forces entirely. The war also gave them something invaluable: experience.
They learned guerrilla warfare, logistics under siege, and how to fight a larger, better-equipped enemy using asymmetric tactics. Those lessons would define their doctrine for the next 40 years, and they would teach those lessons to every proxy force they ever built.
Terrorism or resistance? With Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, the answer depends heavily on where you stand. In 2019, the United States designated the entire IRGC as a foreign terrorist organization, an unprecedented label for part of another government's military. Washington cites the Guard's alleged role in militant networks, regional proxy forces, cyber operations, and plots beyond Iran's borders. Critics also link Iran-backed groups to attacks like the 1983 Beirut barracks bombing, which killed 241 American service members. But inside Iran, and among many who see the Middle East through colonial history, sanctions, and war, the IRGC is portrayed differently, as a force resisting Western pressure and Israeli military power. That contradiction defines its global image. The IRGC is a military force, an intelligence actor, an economic power center, and, to the United States, a terrorist organization. The verdict remains divided because the story is political, historical, and deeply contested.
In 1980, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was built for survival, revolution, and conventional defense. Today, the IRGC operates in a very different world. Its modern power is not measured only in tanks, ships, or soldiers. It is measured in networks, supply chains, low-cost weapons, and digital reach. Two capabilities now define that shift: drones and cyber warfare. Iran's drone program, much of it routed through IRGC-linked channels, has moved from regional tool to global security issue. Systems associated with Iran have appeared in conflicts from Yemen to Gaza to Ukraine. The Shahed 136 became the clearest symbol of this change. It is relatively cheap, one way, and designed to strike a target by destroying itself. After Russia began using Iranian-supplied versions in Ukraine, a weapon tied to the Revolutionary Guard was no longer just a regional concern. It was shaping a war in Eastern Europe. Cyber operations expanded that same idea into the digital domain. IRGC-linked groups have been associated with campaigns targeting American banks, Saudi oil infrastructure, Israeli water systems, and Western election processes. The logic is asymmetric. Disrupt without matching an opponent ship for ship, missile for missile, or dollar for dollar. This is the modern evolution of IRGC power: deniable, distributed, technologically adaptive, and capable of reaching far beyond Iran's borders.
Crackdown at home: the IRGC versus its own people. The IRGC's mandate doesn't stop at Iran's borders. One of its core functions, often overlooked in Western coverage, is internal repression. When Iranians take to the streets, it is often IRGC units and their affiliated Basij militia that crush the protests. In 2009, during the Green Movement, IRGC forces and Basij militiamen beat, arrested, and killed protesters demanding fair elections. In 2019, when fuel price protests erupted, security forces, many under IRGC command, killed an estimated 1,500 people in a matter of days, according to Reuters. The government cut internet access to hide the crackdown from the world. Then came 2022. The death of Mahsa Amini in morality police custody ignited the most sustained uprising in the Islamic Republic's history. For months, young Iranians, especially women, took to the streets. The IRGC's response was arrests, executions, and systematic intimidation. Hundreds died. Thousands were jailed. The Guard held the line for the regime, as it always has, as it was always designed to do. So where does the IRGC go from here? That question is one of the most consequential in global geopolitics right now. Iran is closer than ever to nuclear capability. Its proxy network stretches from the Atlantic coast of Africa to the mountains of Afghanistan, and the Revolutionary Guard sits at the center of all of it. Some analysts argue the IRGC has grown so powerful that it now constrains Iran's own leadership, that even if a moderate Iranian president wanted to negotiate with the West, the Guard's economic and military interests would block any deal that reduced their influence. They have become too big to reform from within. Others point to the cracks. Sanctions are bleeding the economy, young Iranians are increasingly hostile to the regime, and the IRGC's reputation inside Iran has taken real damage from years of suppressing its own citizens. Whether the Revolutionary Guard ultimately becomes the force that preserves the Islamic Republic, or the institution whose overreach finally breaks it, is a question history hasn't answered yet. But one thing is certain: you cannot understand the modern Middle East without understanding them. And now you do.